In this demonstration, we are going to build the famous 3 stripes logo from Adidas. But we're going to build it in a way so that we can modify it, change the size of the bars and the angles, and but still keep the essential properties intact. So we'll start by putting a line along the bottom here to show where those bars cut off, and then another line along here to represent the tops of those bars. Now, one of the key characteristics is that these bars are spaced evenly apart. So if we put a point here, we want the third point to be spaced evenly. So for this, we'll use the dilate from point tool. Dilate essentially means stretch away from. So that will be in the more options here. So we look for dilate from point. There we go, right there. Click on the second one. You want to dilate this one away from that one by a factor of 2. That'll make it twice as far away. So that will always stretch twice as far from our starting point. Okay, the next key property is that the lines going the other way are perpendicular. So let's choose a perpendicular line and build a line from here through here. Okay, and we'll end up adjusting that. Okay. Another property is that these 3 bars are spaced evenly apart from each other. So to build this characteristic, we need to put a point up here. And then we want a midpoint right between those two. So choose the midpoint or center tool. Click on those 2 points and you'll get a point right in the middle. Now if we stretch this, that point will always stay right in the middle. Now we're at the point where we can start putting lines in. So all of these lines are parallel, so we choose the parallel line tool, go from here to here, here to here. We get the tops of those, and then we can put parallel lines here and here. Okay, we're also going to want to put the other side of that bar here, so let's put a point right there, and we'll put a line in a second, but we want to be able to copy the width of this bar to these other 3 bars. So to build that, we need what's called a vector. A vector just says you're going to go this far in this direction, and then we'll copy that. So the vector is in the lines menu right there. So you choose a vector from here to here. Then we can copy that. So if we go look at transform, there's a translate by vector option, which will copy that vector for different points. So now we're going to choose this point, copy it by this vector, and it'll put another point right there. And then same thing for this one, copy it by that vector, and you'll get that point. Then if you move those all change at the same rate. Now we can put our parallel lines in. Same thing from here to here, here to here, here to here. And that's it. Okay, we've got all the outlines. Just check and make sure they all move together. You can change how wide they are, and you can change how far apart they are by moving this guy. Okay, before we put on our final segments for the good copy, we need some points down along the bottom here so we know where those lines are going to go. So just put points at all those intersections. Then we'll go and hide all of those lines. Okay, so let's go through and hide all of these lines. Oh dear. Okay, just go through and click all those. So you can't see any of them. Hide the vector too. Okay, and we should just have points. Oh, and as soon as we do that, we realize there's a couple of points missing. So let's go and undo that and put some points back in here. We need some points here and here. And we need one more right up here. Okay, now let's go and hide those points, hide those lines. In fact, while we're at it, we can hide all of the points that we don't need. Well, let's do that later, actually. Hide that vector too. Okay, let's just make the edges with line segments. Connect those up. Okay, and just connect the corners. Just skip over the points in the middle. Okay, the final step is you just have to decide which are the control points of your logo. For instance, this one will change the size or the angle. And there's another one out here, which will change the angle as well. This one changes how wide they are. This one changes how far apart they are. Okay, so those are the points we need. Oh, and this one changes the stretch. Okay, so let's hide everything else. This point we can hide that point, hide that point, hide that point, hide all these points, just to clean it up a little bit. We don't need that point, don't need that point, don't need the midpoint, don't need the corners. That we need, that we do not need, that we do not need. Okay, so in the end, all you have is these 5 points. They all do something. They change the angle of those bars, the width, the spread, or the vertical spread. And you can take off your logo at the end. Okay, so you can look at different ways that you could arrange those bars, because these are the choices the designers who made this originally had to make. What's the best angle? What's the best spread? What's the best width? And so on.